And we are live
All
once
right,
again.
Jimmy, we're doing it finally.
That's right.
With the release of Giants and Monsters, I said, hey, why don't we just go back and go through the entire catalog from Halloween? Long overdue, long overdue. What do you think?
Man, Alan, this was quite the feat. I just spit on myself. That was quite the feat.
I tell you, we took this seriously.
I took it very seriously. I think it's been 3 weeks. We've been going
Yeah,
through the catalog
chronologically.
chronologically.
For me,
Well,
that was the key.
well, not me. I was going back and forth.
Oh,
But
no, no. It's easier to rate them one after another when you're doing chronologically and you
what a journey. What
yeah,
a journey.
yeah.
The
My
biggest.
takeaway.
Go
Go
ahead. Go
ahead,
ahead.
Jim. Go ahead, Jim.
No, you
We're all
go.
excited. We're too excited. Look, we can't show how excited we are. I'm
um,
as happy as a
uh,
little girl.
the biggest takeaway here for me was I cannot believe what consistency,
Yeah, that's you took the words out of my
the
mouth.
consistency in the songwriting, despite who's singing with the band, despite who's in the band continuously fires off. Just it's hairs, right? Just a little hairs, like hairs on my head, just
Yeah,
like getting hairs
exactly.
on my head. That's how
Exactly.
great the catalog is.
Despite the members that come and go, again, the high quality, their entire career, there's always strong songs and musicianships. They always throw in a little surprise. On every album, you got "Light the Universe" or "In the Middle of a Heartbeat" or "Hold Me in Your Arms." But then there's the rockers that can compete with anything this side of death metal, right? So, and you said the vocalists are unbelievable, no matter what era, and including Kai Hansen in the
Yeah,
early years.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so what I'd like to start with, Jim, I'm going to throw it out nice and early in the show and
Don't throw me
like you said,
off.
hairs.
Hairs,
Going through
hairs,
this,
man.
it's
Alan,
like,
hairs,
yeah, it's
hairs,
like, oh, no,
hairs.
I like that one. Oh, there is that one, and sometimes the difference is just one song, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to throw out what, not counting preludes or introductions or fanfare, what are the top three songs that open a Halloween album in their entire catalog? What would be your top three songs that open a CD, one of their albums?
Alan, I didn't even think about this.
That's all right. Well, you got the whole
I,
show to think
I got the
about.
whole.
So,
We'll take this. We'll take this away,
yeah.
and we'll
So
come
I'm
back
throwing
to
it
it.
out to everybody watching. They can send in, and at the end, we'll look at everybody's choices and see.
So I'm
Again, a lot
happy.
of
I'm
their
happy.
songs, a lot of their albums start with a intro. What do you call it? Without a vocals. What do you call that?
Instrumental.
Instrumental
Jeez.
or a fanfare. Some of it's like
Oh,
classical.
I gotta.
Skip
I
those. We're
gotta
going for
block
the
somebody right now. I gotta remove him because he keeps typing Pakistan like 40 times in the chat. So now I'm going to block him for being an a-hole.
He's happy. He's happy.
Remove. And
But
I'm going to block him.
it's so close to the rating of this album. We're going to try to
And
get
there he
through this.
goes.
This is Jim and
Yes.
I. There are some picks that we don't agree on. We'll explain why. But overall, we gave this a lot of thought. And like I said, between 6, 7, and 8, oh my gosh, they're all kind of so close. And I'm anxious to do this. Looking forward to doing this.
So everybody, I just want to set this up. I will put something on the board here and we'll rank the whole catalog. We're not going to get into details. We're going to rank the whole catalog from 16 to 1. And then we're going to take the new album. And where do you think it fits? Where do you think it fits in the catalog? And where do I think it fits in the catalog?
Yeah, Giants and Monsters come out on the August 29th. We've already interviewed Andy Darris concerning this album. That was a great interview. He was a super nice guy, had lots of time for us. And we were lucky enough to have been listening to it for the last month, and I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah.
And that's it. We're excited to see.
That's all we're going to say for now.
Yeah,
that's all we're going to say for now.
In the overall catalog.
Jim Harrison is saying, I love the new album, but it's too early for me to rank it. So, Jim, as we're ranking it, you can also think about it and rank it too. There's a lot of guys out there who do reviews, and they've probably heard it as well. So you can toss in your rank when we complete
I think Jim's in Halifax, right?
Jim's in good old Jim Harrison in
So.
Halifax.
Hello, Jim. Once again.
Welcome to the show. Here we go. We're going to start off with, I'm going to pull out the rank. Hold on. Let me get the ranking.
Right, let me get my sheet out here.
I got all the albums too here. So we're going to pull them out too. We're going to pull them out. We're going to pull them out.
Be careful what you pull out there.
Don't worry. Here we go. Let's bring out the rank board. All right, Alan. We're starting off with number 16 again. We're going to rank them 1 to 16, worst to best by a hair, and then we will plant what Giants and Monsters is. Okay, coming in at number 16. Alan, you ready?
What do you have?
I have Pink Bubbles Go Ape.
Oh,
but
so do
or Chameleon. So hold on a second.
What are you doing, Jim? You're already confusing everybody.
I think this is a question of we're starting off with a little bit of a battle, perhaps, right?
Yeah. We're going to debate this right off the snot.
We can just debate this. We're going to debate this, and we're going to ask everybody else.
Too exciting, Jim.
It's too exciting. So we have Chameleon and Pink Bubbles Go Ape. As I do the graphics here,
you have this one as the least ranked, because we won't say worst because all their albums are fantastic. We're saying the least ranked, and I have this one, Pink Bubble, as least.
So debate it, Alan. What do you think? You start. I will do the graphics.
I know. When you talk about Helloween, this is the one that everybody kind of right. But I mean, let's look at the time, 1993. And the reason why I put this one as the one, my least favorite or the lowest ranked, is, the song's a Heavy Metal Hamsters. All right, you gotta laugh. But, this was 91, right? And we all know what was happening around that time. And this was like, okay, where do we go from here? What are we doing? We're a little unsure of what's going on, where we fit into the grand scheme of things. And that's why I put this valiant effort, 1994. They said, guys, we can't keep doing this. We got to at least try something different. And like Andy Dara says, it's a good album. It's maybe not a Helloween album, but there's stuff like Crazy Cat, Giants, that stuff that they were doing that was really, really different. Maybe too different. I think their fans would say way too different. Yeah. But at least they gave it a try to saying, hey, we can't keep going in this direction. Let's try something else. Like, I think Michael Kiske was a big instigator for that, from what I read. But at least they tried doing something. And of course, the song Windmill, it's not a bad song. It's not just a Helloween song, but they've done stuff like that on subsequent albums. So that's the reason why I'm putting Pink Bubbles Go 8. I rated this like a 7 out of 10 in front of Chameleon, which I gave a 7.5 out of 10. That's my reasoning.
It's amazing to think like Michael Kiske could do no wrong, but apparently he did a little bit of wrong. Both these albums put the band in massive amount of debt as they tried to recover later on. Something like 400 Deutschmarks in debt. For one, it's the album cover. This is why I like this album better. I love this album cover. It's a woman with a fish
I agree.
And a man with eggs on his eyes.
Yeah. I agree with you. That's much better.
You cannot get a better album cover than that.
This, if we had a ranking of the worst Helloween album covers, this would definitely be it, by far.
A little splash. My sister got me this back when it was released. She was in Greece. She comes back, look, I got you a present. It was like something like 50 euros at the time. It was some crazy amount of money. And I go, oh, thanks. I put it on. It's like, okay. Kids of the Century, Back on the Streets. Chris Tangarides produced it. It's not one of his best productions. Look, there are maybe 1, 2. I do like Heavy Metal Hamster.
It's a fun song.
Great.
You can't take it too seriously.
I would say half this album is good and half of this album is good. I'll just say it like that. I just prefer these songs, the good ones, more so than these. But yeah, it's close. It's by a hair. It's by a hair, right? It's by a hair. But I would definitely do it this way. I put Chameleon 16 and Pink Bubbles at 50, and you would do vice versa.
Yeah, that's what I think. We have 2 disagreements on this list, maybe 3, and that's the one of the first ones. So,
but it's okay. It's okay. Not everybody's the same, Alan. Not everybody.
No,
not
right.
everybody could appreciate this album cover. Nobody. Not every. Or a guy with eggs on as eyeballs. Look at that. That's beautiful.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
All right, let's get back to the list. Here we go. All right, coming in at number.
Don't start with your number.
14. Okay, you ready? Coming in at number 14. Walls of Jericho. Oh. People might be mad at this, Alan. People might be really pissed off about us. Yes.
Now, we're going to use this version, which also includes the EP Judas, right? Starlight, Murderer, Warrior, Victim of Fate, Cry for Freedom. Look, back in the day, we're talking, what, 85 here? You know, only had so much money, right? To buy that album. It used to be $7.79 plus tax. So we might have had $10 to squeeze out something, maybe a drink at McDonald's afterwards. So Helloween,
chocolate milkshake.
Listening to them, you're like, oh, back in the day, they were up there. This is interesting. This is good. This is something. Didn't have the money for. Did not have the money for. Fell on the B list. Had to save it for the Maiden albums, right? And Raven, I was a big Raven fan. Maybe I should have got Helloween instead of Exciter. That's debatable. But that's what happened. But I remember listening to this album. I remember when the EP came out, right? It's kind of like a pumpkin in the face in the background with his arms. If I remember correctly, it was a dark album. And it looked like...
it's not here.
That's it. But yeah, definitely a great album for the time. Listening to it now, production-wise, and you know, it was of its time. It has not aged as well as some of the other albums, and that's why I put it at this position.
You know what? I think you nailed this. Look, there's some great songs. Ride the Sky, Phantom of Death, Metal Invaders. There's definitely some great songs here. But if you go back in time when this was released, it didn't really stand up to Maiden. It didn't really stand up to Accept. It was good, but they're kind of like trying to be Metallica and Slayer, and they're trying to be like the thrash metal bands. However, today, I think people love this album a lot more, and I know that people put this album as their number one. Like Mike has just mentioned, this is my favorite Helloween album. I understand why you love it. This is actually my favorite album cover. Look at that, The Walls of Jericho. Very biblical, right? Beautiful, beautiful album cover. But for me, Alan, I have a hard time going back to this album. But I do appreciate it.
Wakey admits to being stoned all day and just rehearsing and having the songs and want to put something down on tape. And the album itself, if we go back to Martin Popoff's Our Bible, we can't go through a show without talking about Mr. Popoff. At the top 500 albums, take a guess at where this comes in.
Oh, this is like a 225.
Number 142. That high.
That high.
And then Ride the Sky in the top 500 heavy metal songs of all time.
It's a great song.
What do you think? Yeah. It's an angry song, getting away from society's change. Screw the parents, screw the bosses.
And again, it's by a hair. It's by a hair. And I know a lot of people love this album. But maybe because we were born at that time period, it wasn't as... I preferred... It's like you, Alan. I had $20. What am I going to use?
20?
By Maiden?
Yeah, 20.
$20. I had 20. I'm going to buy one Maiden album, and I'm going to buy one Accept album. I didn't have money for Helloween. I didn't have money for it.
Hey, so Ride the Lightning in the top 500 list of heavy metal songs comes in at $2.99. Yeah, quite impressive.
Guys, yes. And K-Man saying Kai still has a great angry voice. He does. He's got a great angry... But his voice gets tiresome to me sometimes. I love the way he's using his voice today. He's sort of like popping in and out. But a whole album of him is a little hard sometimes. That's all I'm saying. K-Man, we're at number 15, I think. Oh, no, 14. Okay, let's get back to the numbers. Let me go get the chart. For all of you who do not know what's going on, we will show you. let me get back to it.
And
So as
remember,
we
we throw it
mentioned,
out. We threw it to everybody. Give us your top 3 songs that open full songs, not instrumental, not
yeah.
fanfare, not prologues or preludes, I should say. Full songs, the top 3 that start a Halloween album.
All right. Here's the
All right.
rank. 16, Pink Bubbles Go Away. 15, Chameleon, Walls of Jericho at a shocking number 14. Number 13, Rabbits Don't Come Easy, Alan.
Yeah,
They do not.
But another great album cover. Hilarious, actually.
There it is.
And now we're getting into the splitting hairs. This is how close these are. Now it's getting difficult, a little more difficult, I'd say, to rate. A good album. Just a Little Sign. Liar is a great song, and it's a strong album. I got it at like 7 3/4 stars, almost 8, very close to being an 8 out of 10 for myself. But and again, I listen to this sequentially in the order they were released, so it's easier to judge the progression of each album. Are they going backwards? Are they moving forward? Did they do something unique? That's kind of my thought process behind this.
My thought process is this here. You see what my shirt says? Chaotic. I just listened to this, then I listened to that, then I listened to this, and I listened to that again. Rabbit Don't Come Easy, 2003. Open Your Eyes, Just a Little Sign. Never Be a Star. I love that song. Hell Was Made for Heaven. Sun for the World. What else there? Don't Stop Being Crazy. This is sort of the modern Halloween sound with the CGI bunny rabbit coming out of the magician's hat, right? The Angry Bunny, but it's more or less a happy album. Do you find? There's either dark Halloween or there's happy Halloween, and this I would put it more in the happy Halloween.
This one, it was released in 2003, right?
Yeah.
So some of the albums before, you're like, oh, well, that's really cool. That's, and then this one came along, you're like, yeah, it's okay, good. It's a Halloween album, but is there a super strong lead-off track like some of the other albums or single or no? It's a great overall album.
Well, I don't know about that album. Just a Little Sign to me is
that's one of the standouts. I like that.
That's a great song.
Oh, that's an opener.
Happy.
That's an opener, Jim.
It's a contender.
You might want to write that down. I've got my 3. I picked my 3.
I didn't pick my 3. I don't know what's going on.
That's it. That was your chance.
Let me overthink this, Alan. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to the list. Just need a little time here to figure things out. Going back to the list. I will recap for everybody. 16, Pink Bubbles Go Away. 15, Chameleon, Walls of Jericho. 14, shockingly. And 13, Rabbits Don't Come Easy. What do we got for 12? 12 is Time of the Oath.
Ooh, Time of the Oath. I got a bonus tracks on mine with Electric Eye. A copy it was taken from the B-side of Time of the Oath.
Time of the Oath. Let me grab my Time of the Oath.
Okay, so for myself, this is a return to the classic Halloween sound. And again, I give it almost an 8, very close to an 8, like a 7.9. It's there's some good songs. It's a great album overall, but it just doesn't have some of the other albums I found was just like you said, hairs, Jimmy. Hairs. Whiskers, not even hairs, whiskers.
Hairs on my head.
Whiskers, different, separating them apart.
We Burn, Steel Tormentor, Power. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is a loose concept album about Nostradamus, the Time of the Oath. So correct me if I'm wrong. I got the bonus tracks, the big boner bonus tracks.
Oh, yeah, we
here.
got the same version here, yeah.
Same version. I don't remember.
We had different versions before. This one's the same version. So.
We Burn, Steel, Wake Up the Mountain, another great song.
Yeah.
Look, it's
Power.
A strong power. It's a strong album, and it's hairs. It's always going to be about hairs, Alan. It's always going to be about hairs.
I looked at the one that came. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert or anything, but I came to the one before, and you're like, oh, wow, okay, Mr. Darris, hello, welcome. And then this one got back to the classic sound,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a little bit of a step back for me. That's why I didn't rate it higher.
K-Man saying they still play Steel Tormentor quite a lot live. It's been a while since I've seen them live, maybe 7 years ago. Time of the Oath, please correct me if I'm wrong. It is about Nostradamus, or is it loosely based on Nostradamus? Billy saying, in what world is Walls of Jericho near the end of the list?
I don't
Hairs,
know.
hairs,
We're
hairs.
listening. We've got our 2025 ears on. If we had our 1985 years on, it might be different.
Hairs, hairs, hairs. I know it's quite disappointing for some or many. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let me bring out the chart. Bringing out the chart. Shall I recap again for everybody? We got Pink Bubbles, Chameleon, Walls of Jericho, Rabbit, Don't Come Easy, Time of the Oath. And our next one coming in at 11, Seven Sinners in 2010.
Yeah, there we go. A little
What do you
Seven
think?
Sinners. Again, we're splitting hairs, literally. I mean, this is a strong. I got it an 8 out of 10. You have a few songs. There's even one song that has a flute that sounds like Jethro Tull in it. I mean, something different. A very strong album, consistent. Again, we were talking Helloween. Everything they do is fantastic. So we're really now, for me, we're in the crunch zone here. These next 4 albums, it's a coin toss. I mean, literally. Maybe there's one song that I preferred a little bit more than another.
There it is. There it is. I remember when we reviewed this in 2010, I was like, wow, I can't believe this is Helloween. This is like the Downtune Rammstein album for me. Where the Sinners Go, Are You Metal? That is a song that they're still playing in their set list today. Are You Metal? Raise the Noise. I love the flute on that song. I love it. And World of Fantasy.
Yeah.
Who would have thought in 2010 they would have come out with such a strong album? And just because this is number whatever 13 or 14 or 12, it is definitely a solid album.
Well, I think that just proves our point. They are so strong. Their albums are so strong that a quality. Look at all the quality albums that we were forced to put at a lower ranking, right? Yeah. That just hats off to Helloween, man. They're just unbelievable.
Yeah. K-Man saying, I really love The Sage, The Fool, The Sinner off of Seven Sinners, and Mr. Madman is a sequel to Perfect Gentleman. You are correct. Sasha really turned the band into a great band once again. He's right. There was like this sort of like the breath of fresh air that came into the band. And always, when you change members, not too often, just once in a while, there's always that new energy or the new songwriter, or just it gets everybody excited again to write songs.
All right, so this is our second disagreement, I think, on this next one. I would have put it up higher, but let's
bring out the chart. Let's bring out the chart. Okay, we got the chart. Here we go. We're coming in at number 10. Boop. The self-titled Helloween album from 2021, which was the Pumpkins reunion album.
Yeah, reunited. Best Time for me, and of course Skyfall are the 2 highlights on the album. And when it came out, we were like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And it is amazing. But, listening to the new album, what?
You can't give it away.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Go. Okay, go.
Listen to the new album with this formation. You can see where this album seems a little tentative. It's a little tentative compared to what we thought at the time. So it just shows you how good the new album is. Because this is another standout album. This is, a strong 8.2 out of 10. I mean.
Yeah. Alan, this is what happens with me. A new album comes out. Oh
yeah, the best you've ever done.
Michael Kiske is now with the band. He's reunited, and there hasn't been music for a while. And the first time you listen to it, you're just so excited that you're listening to one of your favorite bands, and they got new music, and that overwhelms you. and you rate it higher than it really actually is, and you love it and you appreciate it. But over time, what happens? It kind of falls lower and falls lower, and you realize other albums, might be better or worse. And there is
that's a great point, because before going back through the whole catalog, I would have rated this album a lot higher.
Yeah.
But doing it the way I did it, you're like, look at that. There's some that I kind of prefer. Again, whiskers. We're not even talking hairs. We're talking half a day's growth of whiskers. How close these albums.
It seemed like two different bands, the Darius band and the Kiske band. That's how I feel about this album. The artwork is even much different than anything Helloween has ever done. If you want to look at, there's no pumpkins, there's no Reaper or whatever it was, and there's no
maybe
pumpkin. This is more of a, I don't know, a Da Vinci. I don't know. Michelangelo. It's more of a, it's a different, it's a different artist and a different sort of Helloween style. It's nothing like Keeper or anything like that. Look, I like Pumpkins United, which is on the second disc, Out for Glory, but I find that it's good, but it's okay. Still solid, but just not as great as their other work. It's the guy who does the art for Testament and Creator. There you go. I mean, he can draw really well. He could paint really well. I'm not saying he can't. It's just it's
and
different.
again, we were super.
Where's all the snow? That's what I want to know. Where's all the snow? It's not this. It's not this. It's not this. It's beautiful. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go to the next one, Alan, or unless you have something else to say.
No.
Okay. Let's go back to the albums.
You ready?
Go to the list. Ready to show the list again.
There we go. I'm showing it. I'm spoiler.
Don't spoil it. Number 9, Straight Out of Hell.
Yeah. And this, I mean, when this came out too, we're like, oh, wow, this is an aggressive album. The start off track, Asshole, is hilarious. A great album. I kind of gave it a slight edge over Seven Sinners and a slight edge over Helloween. I mean, the next, yeah. I mean, it's a very strong album. I'm glad I went out and got it and was able to revisit it. They're so close, Jim.
We met the band. We met the band on this tour, and this was the famous scene in the back of the bus where you and me and Stiff Rod were filming your interview with Mike Owicki, and he was chain smoking, and we were in a tiny little closet room, and we almost fainted from all the smoke.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's a signature right there.
There you go.
Nabita, World of War, Live Now, Far from the Stars, and Burning Sun. This is a solid album.
Again, Hold Me in Your Arms. There's Darius doing kind of a ballad, and a great ballad. I played it for people that hate metal, and they're like, oh, what's that song? That's a good song.
Yeah. Kudos to Darius for his songwriting, for his singing. A lot of people said, you know what, I give up on Helloween after the first 2 albums. Darius, or after the 4 albums, Darius just brings the band back on the map, does an outstanding job as a songwriter and a singer, and lyricist and artist in general. All right, let's go. Next one. Let me get it ready.
Yeah.
Coming in at number 8. These great graphics. My God-Given Right.
Yep.
All right. What do you think about that one?
Again, these 4, My God-Given Right, Straight Out of Hell, Helloween, Seven Sinners. You could change the order any way you want, and it wouldn't bother me at all. I mean, this one, I think God-given right. My God-given rights is a Lost in America. My God-given right. I mean, I think this one might be a little bit more consistent over the other three, and that's the only reason I placed it ahead of the other three. That's all. There seems to be a little bit more uniformity to the songs.
I remember when this album came out, and I go, "How are they going to top the last album?" And they topped it. The only strange part about this album is the CGI snow. It's kind of weird, but that's Halloween for you, right? The
Yeah,
little
it's a
guy
fun
on
album
top
cover.
there. It's a fun album. I would consider this more of a happy album, even though the pumpkin in the back is very angry. Uh, Heroes, Battles Won, Stay Crazy, Lost in America. Again, consistency. Moving up the charts. Anything else on that?
No,
All right.
there's a lot of people saying that they don't like this album. So
They don't like this album. What
yeah,
don't you like about Snow? Maybe it's because we're
yeah,
Canadian,
that's
like
it.
we can relate to this. I don't know.
No,
All
but
right.
going through them sequentially, you say, "Oh, okay." Was there a progression? Yeah, there's a little bit of a progression I found. But again, if people want to switch these four albums around, I would not have a problem.
Yep. And that's what we were talking about before the show. We go hairs. You could put God Given Right before Straight Out of Hell or vice versa, right? All right, here we go.
It's
Number
just hats
seven.
off.
Number seven,
Yeah,
Better Than Raw.
yeah, yeah. Like this album. Push is a great opening track. Hey Lord. For me, the only reason it's not higher, it's like they were treading water a little bit. They were like, okay, this is what we do. I think it could be arguable that this is maybe one of their heaviest overall albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Falling Higher, Push. Push could be, it's probably their reply to Judas Priest's Painkiller, right? I mean, with those vocals. Hey, and Hey Lord, for me, if you had to sum up one song that is Andy Darius's writing style for Halloween, it would be Hey Lord. It's got all his trademarks in there, everything he does so well, and his writing. For me, that would be the one song to sum up Andy Darius would be Hey Lord.
I think the title of the album and the cover, I like it a lot. Hey Lord, Push, I Can would summarize also the style of Andy Darius. I'm not sure if he wrote that one. And Time, the song Time. This is definitely a grower of an album, one of their heaviest album, probably one of their more, I don't want to call it industrial, but more of a pounding, brutal album overall. It is more raw in terms of production, but definitely look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Cool.
Okay, so on the Martin
That's a
Popoff
Smurf. Yeah.
top
Yeah, Martin, go
500
ahead.
albums of all time.
Yes.
Pick a number. Where do you think this comes in? The top
This sucker
500
right here.
albums of all time.
This is probably at 432.
As high as 159. So to show you the strength of this album when it came out, people put it.
Mind you, Alan, I remember when this album did come out, it really went under the radar in Canada. I don't know about the rest of the world, but it went under the radar. Actually, most of these albums went under the radar, with the exception of the first two. All right, let's get back to the charts, folks. Let's get back to those charts. Now we're getting into the top 8.
We're talking about cool album covers.
Now we're talking about
Go
it.
ahead.
Gambling with the Devil, 2007.
Let me correct myself, Jim. This is possibly the heaviest album that Helloween has ever done. I mean, it's brutal in places.
Yeah.
I gave it a strong 8.75 stars. I mean, when it came out, the more you listen to it, I think it's a grower for sure.
Yeah. I could even remember where I bought this. I think I bought this at Best Buy when it came out, when they actually sold CDs. I remember what turned me off about this album at the time was the CGI graphics, but holy moly, the music! Whoa, Alan, I would agree with you. Maybe this is their heaviest album.
Yeah, I think that's what was my takeaway. And I listened to them, and again, listening to all of them within a short period of time. I try to get 5 or 6 albums a day, 4 or 5. So it was over 3 days. Then you go back and revisit them. But when you do it sequentially like this, and we're talking this is 2007. I mean, they were carrying the torch high, and
Yeah.
man, what a brutal album! This is
Think about this. I bought
relentless.
this in a box store, like a Best Buy or Future Shop or whatever it was at the time. The Saints, Kill It, Paint the New World, I Am Me, Can Do It, Dreambound, strong production on this. This is, I consider like this. I agree with you. This might be their heaviest album. And maybe because the production is like sort of like this wall of Halloween sound, that makes it so much better. Great album. Great album. And I would say it's a contender. Does it start with Off the Saints? Is that the first song?
Crack the Riddle.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put it there. But that's actually not, that's an intro. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the list, shall we? Back to the list. Here we go. Coming in at number 5, sorry. Master of the Rings.
Hello, Mr. Darris. Welcome back, Mr. Darris. Welcome to the Halloween family, Mr. Darris. And you got them back on track after Chameleon. Man, I didn't realize how good this album. I know, Higher Ground, Perfect Gentleman. Middle of the Heartbeat. There's something that we hadn't heard really before. A true kind of power ballad. In fact, my version I have here, Jim, 2 bonus tracks. One that you would have loved. It's "I Stole Your Love," and "Closer to Home" from Grand Funk Railroad. I'm not sure when they released Heavy Metal Jukebox, what year that was, but those were 2 that might have didn't make the cut or made the cut.
Yeah.
But Mr. Ego, Soul Survivor, this is a strong album.
Also, Where the Rain Grows, Perfect Gentleman, if you didn't mention that, and The Game Is On. I love The Game Is On.
And Perfect Gentleman. For me, it's Higher Ground and Perfect Gentleman are the 2 that my faves on this album.
They have these double bass, happy songs. They always have that traditional on one or two tracks on each album. They always have those traditional bass drum, happy major key songs. Great album. That's where Darris pulls it out of his hat. Yeah. Here we go. Now we're really getting up the list. Now here we go, Alan. Just bring it back to.
Well, one of my faves. My fave. This for myself, Jim. I would have put this album higher.
The Dark
Ride. Wow. I love this album. Love it. And this is another one that's consistent throughout. There's no heavy metal hamsters here. There's no windmills, no asshole. This is just consistent. Every song, and there's kind of almost thematic, right? This is like when we interviewed Wyke, he said that, it's a hard album for him because it was following the suicide death of Ingo. That's why it's a darker album. But I think that there's a consistency and if I can say a theme throughout the songs that make it just that much better than everything else. For me, this is easily a 9 out of 10.
All Over the Nations, Mirror Mirror, If I Could Fly, brilliant. Mr. Torture, brilliant. I agree with you, Alan. Everything about this album, Escalation 666, I Live for Your Pain.
I think before
I even got the bonus tracks on mine.
Before doing this, Jim, did you think this album for you would have rated this high?
No, I think when you do what we did, when you go through the whole catalog for 3 weeks, you realize how good this album is.
I knew coming in, like I said, I would have put this higher, but I don't think I know you speaking to you about this album that you're like, yeah, okay, it's a Halloween album. So I'm glad you came on board. You came over to the dark side, Jim, to the dark ride, Jim.
And you know what? Just the album cover itself, it's brilliant. It kind of looks like this is the Halloween guy. This is like the world looks like a microphone, right? I don't know if anybody ever noticed that. It looks like he's singing into a mic. I'm not sure if that was done on purpose or not, but it's really cool. I got the bonus tracks on mine. You?
No, not on mine. No, I got the Nuclear Blast 2000 edition here, made
Here
in
we
the
go.
U.S. of A.
Now we're getting into the top
Okay,
three,
I
Alan.
got a
Now
little
we're getting
story.
into the top
Yeah,
three.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen, folks. Can anybody guess what the top three are? As I get everything ready. A lot of work here I'm doing. A lot of work. Okay. Let's bring back the chart. A lot of prep. A lot of prep for the show. Bring back the chart. Coming in at number 3. I don't know if people will be shocked by this.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Keeper of the Seven Keys, The Legacy, which is part 3, basically.
Jim, I'll tell you, look, I knew, these two existed. I Keepers parts 1 and 2. I knew I want out a few songs in that. But I went into a used record store to trade some CDs, and he said, I'll give you a credit. And this was sitting there. So this was really my first Helloween album I think I ever purchased. And this album, again, I'd put it higher, is say, oh, it blew my mind. Andy Darris, the way he changes his voice and everything, but the strength, Occasion Avenue, The King for 1,000 Years, Mrs. God, even the ballad, Light the Universe, everything on this album, every song, there's not a weak track on this album. And this album led me, Jim, just to get to finish my story, to go on a mission to find all these other albums and get the whole catalog, to go back in time, find them. I traveled throughout New England, going to every Newbury Comics to find a Helloween album, and it's all because of this album. It's right here. This is where it all started for me, and it forced me to go back and dig out every other album on their catalog, and I've enjoyed it. Again, I never realized how strong of a band they were.
This is how strong this album is.
They are.
This is a 2 CD album. This is a double album. And even the 2 discs, sometimes you have 2 discs and it's kind of watered down, one disc and the other disc, just to make room. This is a 2-disc album, and it's double as strong. Like, again, King of 1,000 Years. There is a little bit of an opera bit there. Invisible Man, Born on Judgment Day, Pleasure Dome, Mrs. God, Silent Rain. You go on and on. There's not a single miss.
There's not a single miss. Exactly. I agree.
Would everybody agree with that?
And inspired me to go and get every other album in their collection.
I think also this is probably the best produced album that they have. Listen to the frequencies, the sound, put it in your car, or just play it on your CD player at home, or just play it in a big stereo. The sound on this album is their best by far. All right. Now the question becomes, there's only 2 left. Which way is it going to go? Which way is it going to go? Which way is it going to go? 1 or 2, 2 or 1? Where's it going to go, Alan? All right, let's get out the chart. Okay. It's a lot of work I'm doing here. You guys don't see the behind the scenes work that I do. A lot of work. Okay, I'm going to read them out. Pink Bubbles Go Ape at 16. Chameleon, Walls of Jericho, Rabbit Don't Come Easy, Time of the Oath, 7 Sinners, Helloween, Straight Out of Hell, My God Given Right, Better Than Raw, Gambling with the Devil, Master of the Rings, The Dark Ride, Keeper of the 7 Keys, The Legacy Part 3. And number 2 goes to the suspense. Keeper of the 7 Keys Part 1. It could have went either way.
Yeah, I mean, they say that this is the Kai Hansen record, and number 2 is the Waikiki record. I mean, the song Helloween, they close with an epic, right? Oh, almost close with an epic.
Yeah.
And that's something they still do to today, right? Majestic off the new album, the Skyfall off of the Helloween album. I mean, that song Helloween, number 136 on the top 500. It's written with Kai Hansen and Ingo, rehearsing it over a 4-week period in rehearsal studios. What a song. And, then you've got, A Tale That Wasn't Right, Future World, of course, there's probably I'm Alive. I mean, every song on this is good. And going back into the day, I don't know Why it just didn't do better? And is their introduction for everybody? Number one, number two took it to another level, but
Yeah.
it's still they were kind of always second tier for some reason that I can't understand. Back in the day, I'm talking.
So I bought the first album when it came out because I saw a review of it in whatever metal magazine it was at the time. I saw a picture of the album cover. I don't remember what it looks like. I guess it's something
Right,
like this,
right
right?
here, Jim. Jim, it's
I
right
have
here.
the.
It's right
It's
here.
right there. It's right there. It's right there. I have actually the album that I bought somewhere back there, um, and it said something about Jeff Tate and Iron Maiden. Like if Jeff Tate, that was the review. It was like sort of like Jeff Tate's vocals and Iron Maiden sound. And I went and I bought the album without hearing it because back then they don't play this stuff on the radio,
Yeah.
right?
Nope.
And oh boy, not a bad track. I don't think they'll ever top those first two albums. Twilight of the Gods, I'm Alive, Future World, the song Halloween, which they had a video, really funny, stupid video on that back in the day. A Little Time, you know, the bells ringing. Michael Kiske, he wrote on this album too, right? He had some writing credits on it.
Yeah, a
It
little
just
time.
it all came together. It just all came together. To me, it's 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. Like, okay, 9.5 out of 10 because the next one had to be 10 out of 10.
So out of the top 500 albums, heavy metal of all time, the Bible, Martin Popoff's, where do you think this rates?
Oh, this is really high up there. I would say it's like, if it's heavy metal albums, I would put it definitely at 35.
89.
Popoff, what are you talking
But
about?
keep that. Well, he did. They voted. They voted. It's not him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if
All
everybody
right.
agrees or not. Number 2 is Keeper Part 1.
So no surprise.
Let's just bring out the next album cover just so we can be
No
consistent here.
surprise. There's no spoiler alert here.
No.
Keeper Part 2.
Keeper Part 2.
Again, Eagle Fly Free, Dr. Stein, I Want Out, Keeper of the Seven Keys, another epic to end the album.
Yeah.
Uh, Keeper of the Seven Keys, top 500 albums, songs of all time, came in at 337. I Want Out came in at 119. Eagle Fly Free at 192. I mean, I Want Out was Kai Hansen's kind of say, look, there's some bad vibes here. The chemistry's falling apart. Kind of funny that I'm going to stick this on an album that says I Want Out when it's probably their most successful album to date. But that's it. That was his thoughts of leaving at the time.
And also the pumpkin humor is in that album, Rise and Fall, right? Dr. Steen, right?
Dr. Steen, yeah.
There's a lot of humor in. I would say this is a little more mature and humorous than the first one. The first one being like a 9.5 out of 10, and this one being like a 10 out of 10. You don't get better than this in metal, right? Of course you do, but I'm just saying for Halloween, you don't get better than this. It's
strong album. I mean,
strong album. The vocals, Alan, you put this album on and you just cannot believe the singing. It's just the singing, the music, the songs, the melodies. They just broke. This is like European power metal, right? Maiden was in one category. These guys were in another category. They were speed power metal.
Going back and reading reviews of some of these earlier albums, like the Two Masters, that's what I think one of the first terms of power metal was applied to Helloween from the looking back and seeing reviews. So again, if you disagree, that's fine. But they brought this theme probably to the forefront with these two albums, like this format. So great albums. And like you said, Michael Kiske, you listen to him on these albums and you listen to him today, he's still got those soaring vocals. Listen to Giants and Monsters, right, which you're going to get to next. I mean, his voice, again, unbelievable. There's no other word to describe his voice.
Okay, let's go to what you said at the beginning of the show before we get to Giants and Monsters. You said that what are your 3 favorite
Openers. What are
Openers.
the top 3 songs that open a Halloween album that are
All
not
right.
fanfares, that's not instrumental?
As we were
I've got
doing this,
mine.
I was thinking about this. I
All
would
right,
say
go
for
ahead.
myself, uh, uh,
I got you on the
I
spot,
would
Joe.
say King for
Got
a
you on the
Thousand
spot.
Years. King for a Thousand Years is one of my
Okay.
favorite openers. All right. And I would say, but uh, Nabita.
Okay.
And I would say just a little time. I just kind of like that. I
Yeah.
just,
All right. My top 3. Number 3, kind of a tie.
yeah.
King for a Thousand Years,
Ooh, look
and
at that.
and Giants and Monsters.
Oh, Alan, look at
Number 2 for
that.
me is Mr. Torture,
This church is great.
and
Yeah.
number 1 is Eagle Fly Free.
Eagle Fly Free. Was that the opening track? Was it? Or, yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Because
Like I said, we're
Invitation.
not counting in the intros or anything.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Okay. Out for
instrumentals.
Glory. Mike says Out for Glory is very good. I agree with
Oh,
you.
good one. Yeah.
Push, K-Man says. I think it's a
Push
great
was good.
opener too. Push,
Great
push.
opener.
And
Narrowing
okay.
down to 3.
Okay, now we're getting to the end of the show where we take the new album and we place it. But first, give me a high level review of what you thought about the new album, Alan. And we did interview Andy Darris about this. You could go look at that, interview that we
Yeah.
did.
I mean, again, okay, Giants on the Run, great opener. A little is a little too much there. Okay, that's something different. It's catchy. This is Tokyo, something way, way different. Universe, Gravity for Hearts, Under the Moonlight, and then they end with an epic and majestic. So it's got everything that you want, but it seems like this formation, the Halloween album before was like the testing waters, right? Is this going to
Yeah.
work? How's this going to work? Who's writing? Who's writing for who? And this album seems to be a lot more comfortable. They're more comfortable
Yeah.
writing. They're more comfortable in how it's going to work. They know that it worked out. The first album in this formation worked. So they were probably comfortable saying, hey, we can do this again. We'll have as much success. And the album's, it's a strong album. For me, it's the album of the year so far. The ones that all the other albums have to compare to. So when we get to our year end list, it's going to be hard to beat. It's going to be hard to beat.
I went through a few phases with this album. So when we first got it, now it's almost been a month. I was excited, like always, right? I get excited and I go, "This is the best album ever." And then I started listening to the rest of the catalog and things started mapping out a little bit easier, right? And I go, "Okay, it's really strong, but where does it sit?" Giants on the Run is a great song. Into the Sun, another dramatic, haunting ballad. This is Tokyo. It's kind of like Mr. Torture. It sort of sits in that sort of world of Andy Darris. I think the true highlight on this album is Darris. To me, he steals the show on this album. Universe, another great track. It was released as a single. Hand of God, Darris on vocals with Kisuke jumping in. Majestic, again, that closer, right?
Good
The
closer.
production is a little thin. It does make it sound a little dialed in, whereas something like what we were talking about here and here, you're not getting these productions, which is a shame, but I get it. We're in 2025. The production is a little thin. That's my only disappointment. Still, I think after a month, this is a very strong album. But where does it sit? Where does it sit? Where does it sit?
Yeah, Michael Kiske again.
I,
We asked. I asked Andy Darris like it's their performing styles between the 3 singers, and I mean, okay, yeah, it's like Simon and Garfunkel, right? I mean, Garfunkel's got that angelic voice. That's Michael Kiske, but
yeah,
Darris can do it all.
he can
He
do it
could
all.
probably do death growls if he applied himself, right? And maybe on some of the more aggressive songs he did. And that's what I like about Andy Darris. I mean, the texture in his voice, the variations. I fell in love with his voice the first time I heard it. I mean,
Kim
it's
Kim Man
and
Kim
he's
Man does
still
make a
writing well.
K-Man does make a good point. Kai Hansen, not much represented on this album. He's more of, he pokes in for a couple of cameo, vocal parts, right? Think of Skyfall. He just jumps in on the bridge or the chorus or wherever he does. Okay, here's the list. I put it up on screen. Keeper of the Seven Keys at part 2 at number 1. Pink Bubbles Go Ape at the bottom. You know the list, Alan. Where would you put this new album
I'm telling you, it's I'm probably guilty as the same thing as you. When it comes out, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest. And going back and revisiting everything that's on this list, I can tell you some of them changed for me. I thought they were, be lower. They landed up being higher, and some that I had higher landed up being lower. But right now, today,
yes,
I'm putting this new album, Giants and Monsters.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put it at number 6.
So in other words, it bumps down
Gambling with the Devil. Yeah.
Alan.
I like it. I like it that much. I like it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And Giants on the Run, like I said, one of the best openers of all time on any HELLOWEEN album.
Yeah. Okay. So in other words, you're saying Giants is not as strong of Masters of the Rings, but it is stronger than Gambling with the Devil.
Again, hey, this is a great argument to have because every album is fantastic, right? So we're saying this is 1/10 less fantastic or better than a lot of these other albums. That's how consistent this group has been, despite all the lineup changes, all the members coming and going. Somebody mentioned earlier, anybody that comes in brings, Roland Grappow. Can we talk about him on Master of the Rings, what he brought to that album? So everybody brings a little something, but I love this Pumpkins reunited lineup. You get the best of all worlds, and I think that's why I'm putting it as high as number 6, because you got Kiske and Darius.
Them's big numbers.
And even Kai Hansen. When he comes in, he does a great job. It's the best of all worlds is the way I see it.
Okay. I'm going to put it, man, this is hard for me. I was either going to put it right underneath Gambling with the Devil or underneath Better Than Raw. Oh boy, what decisions? This is difficult, man. I think I'm just going to put it right underneath here. And I'll call it Jimmy Giants.
What are you doing? Where are you going? Oh, no, we're
you
close.
See what I'm doing here?
We're close. I see that.
I think it's strong. It's a very strong album. So, and again, forget about the numbers here. That's where we place it. So we're talking about the upper echelons, higher than half.
Top 10.
Yeah. Look at that. So it'd be, for you, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Me would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would put it at 7. Yeah, I think that's it. K-Man does not like this album. He's saying I would say it's above Chameleon. Come on. Listen, we've listened to this for a month. We've been going back and forth and back and forth. And this is the analysis we've come up with. Listen, this is subjective, but we're pretty much spot on usually. Because I say so.
Oh, you and I, actually, there's maybe 3 or 4 albums we just had a disagreement on.
Yeah.
But overall, the rankings were pretty close. I see that Jim Harrison places Giants and Monsters kind of close to my rankings. So hats off to Jim.
Okay,
Jim. Anyway, this was a pleasure, Jim. I'm glad we did this because it gave us a chance to go back and listen to them all in a short period of time. And what a band. What a band. That's, man, the quality.
This is a testament to how great this band is right here, right? Right here. Look at this. Look at this. This is a testament to the quality. And we have the albums too. So it's not only CDs.
Mission. I had to get them all. I was on a mission, Jim. I had to go and find each and every one of their albums. What a band. What a band, Jim.
Jim Harrison, I want you to listen, look back at the show a month from now and saying, does it still sit where it should be sitting? It's tough because there's the excitement factor of something new. And then you have the 10 or 20 years of listening to it. Does it still hold up? the test of time, right? But you know what? It is what it is.
I'm
Guys,
glad we
thanks
did
for
it.
watching.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. This band deserves all the credit. Make sure you buy the new album. You won't be disappointed. I can't wait to see them live. And there is talk of a North American tour sometime, I think 2026, if I remember Andy saying that.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it. What a band. That's all I can say. What a band.
Tomorrow on the show at 7 p.m. Eastern, who's going to be on, Alan?
Our West Coast correspondent and singer extraordinaire, first singer of Anthrax on Fistful of Metal, Mr. Neil Turbin himself.
We're going to talk about the legacy of Fistful of Metal. We're going to talk about his Canadian tour. Wow, a tour. He's playing 3 shows in Canada, but it's been since 1984 that he last played Fistful of Metal in Canada. How's that? He was here in Montreal 1984 on that tour, and he has come back, but he hasn't come back playing those songs. So looking forward to that. Tomorrow, Fistful of Metal with Neil Turbin. And the gloves are off, by the way. He's going to have a lot to say about stuff tomorrow. A lot of stuff to say. So Anthrax, the band, run for cover. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
All right.